Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Merlin Podcast. Merlin is a European Union-funded project which aims to help researchers commercialize their research findings. And on today's episode, we are very lucky to have Robertas Urbanavicius, a researcher who bridged the gap and decided to start the road to entrepreneurship. So, hello, Robertas, and thank you very much for joining. Can you tell us a bit about your background in academia? What was your studies, and how did you enjoy academia world?
Okay, so first of all, my first diploma is obtained in Kaunas University of Technology. It was done 8 ages ago. My diploma is related with I'm a mechatronic engineer. Later, my PhD studies were related with the diagnostics of mechanical devices, mechatronic devices. And after that, I spent some time working in university. Then I left Kaunas University of Technology. I was working in different companies, business companies, consulting companies. After that, I returned back to academical world and as associate professor in Vilnius Technical University. But finally, a year ago, I decided to dedicate my time and competence to the development of UAVs.
Can you tell us a bit more about the products that you are currently developing?
Well, currently we are working on development of fixed wing unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs or drones. But these drones are not simple. They should carry something like up to 10 kilograms of payload of different instruments, sensors. They should fly very slowly. Very slowly means around 10 meters per second. This is around 36 kilometers per hour. And our product consists from two parts. Products, UAVs, and services, our diagnostic services or our aerial monitoring.
Yes. What was the main reason that you decided to finally leave academia full time and focus on your business? Can you recall any significant thoughts or processes that went through your head that you decided that it's finally time to emerge yourself fully into business?
Academical life, academical environment is really a nice place for people who are not very active, not aggressively active. Let's say standard scientists. It's a really perfect area. I need to point one aspect which is related with students. I can tell you that students are really very good, very innovative. Absolutely right persons. It's another story is related with the academic environment. Unfortunately, academic environment isn't the best person for me, for example. It's too slowly moving projects, lack of projects, lack of implementations. Best ideas, you can see result, I don't know, after 10 or 20 years of investigations or one more reason, I always was working and involved in a enormous quantity of projects, but unfortunately we cannot use funds effectively. We cannot see final result. And by the end of the story, I decided to leave university. We established our private company. As I mentioned before, our activities are consuming latest technological innovations, and currently I'm treating these activities as a challenge. And the most important part of the story, I can implement ideas into the real world quickly, effectively. I'm fully controlling financial issues, I can make decisions, and I can see results.
So the speed of how fast you can develop products was, you can see it can be one of the main reasons that you decided to continue your research in a sense, but in the business world, correct?
Important part of story stage that I'm involved in many sub projects or research micro projects. But speed of implementations is much more higher than the situation which I saw in a university's environment.
Have you experienced any issues in terms of the different environment? I mean, of course, academia and business is different, and usually the skills that people acquire in these two environments are different. So have you experienced any issues or roadblocks in your way of establishing the business as you are coming from academia?
Because actually I was living double life. One, my leg was in a university. Second leg, I always had projects related with consultancy, with the R&D, with the development, with the robotics, mechatronic solutions, etc., etc. So for me, it's very difficult now to tell that something is wrong, something is good. Both worlds were overlapping, and I was trying to implement best practice from a business environment into university's life, and the opposite case. Unfortunately, my final decision was to concentrate on business issues, on development, on really challenging activities.
Great to hear. And do you have any highlights of your entrepreneurship road as of now? I know you personally, and I know that your company has achieved a lot of great things throughout the couple of years that it's officially been registered. But can you share some of the biggest highlights of your business career to this day?
Good day. Our company, AeroDiagnostika, we have been established 1.5 years ago. How it happens? Investors came to us suggesting to develop aerial diagnostic system based on UAVs, and this system should or could be used for inspection of electric line, electric distribution line, electric power supply line. It's very complex area. Current situation is such that all these our inspection, our monitoring activities are made by conventional helicopters, but you should be very brave pilot flying in 30 meters distance from high voltage lines. I'm pilot, but sorry, I'm not so brave. So it's logical that we are trying to increase safety, to increase efficiency, etc., etc. The highlights. During this 1.5 years, we started from zero. We had some previous experience working with fast flying UAVs. We had some projects with the defense industry. We developed fast flying target drones for anti-aircraft operators. But this experience, it was only part of the story and needed knowledges which we need to implement in the current phase. So during this period of time, this 1.5 years, we started something like 6 projects. We started projects, but before these projects, it's a good idea to decide on ideas, to prepare applications, to pass all needed procedures. So finally, we have seal of excellence related with the H2020 for SMEs. We have a positive decision, and currently we are working on implementation of Intellectus LT project. The final budget is something like 1.3 million euros, and unfortunately, it's not enough for development of really good product and services. Plus other small projects, main visible aspects. We developed 3 different products, and currently we are in the middle of development. Our inspection, our diagnostic system, which consists from carrier, UAV, plus sensors, plus analytics, with the possibility to use most advanced artificial intelligence methods, machine learning methods, everything what helps to analyze pictures or 3D point clouds quicker, more efficiently, more precisely. So it's a lot of challenges. It's very interesting environment, really interesting projects, and by the end of the story, we expect to develop prototype of service, which is in the middle of the process, which could be interesting not only local grid operators or infrastructure owners, but highly possible we will spread wider.
Great to hear. It's definitely a very complex system.
Exactly so.
Yes, and so the Merlin project, with it, we're trying to encourage researchers to start either their own startups or find other ways to commercialize research findings, and we are trying to achieve that by organizing workshops on various topics related to business, and we're also organizing matchmaking events for researchers and industry representatives. So my question to you is, what is your opinion on such programs, and do you think the researchers would need anything else, anything additional for them to, brace themselves and just try to, at least tip a toe in the commercial world?
My advice for researchers, first of all, I need to point that any event, any training, any course could increase, could help for researcher to obtain some additional knowledges, ideas, contacts, etc., etc. One more aspect during these courses, during such events, you must break wall. Typical researchers are concentrated on some narrow things. You must think wider. It's very important. Next aspect, it's necessary to understand that near you, what is your neighbor, what is your friend, what is your competitor? It's not competitor, it's your partner. You need to change this way of thinking. Next aspect, R&D activities and real life. It's a good idea to understand that R&D activities, it's really interesting entertainment for researchers, but it's not enough. You must think that by the end of the day, these research activities should be converted into something solid, into something visible, which brings some positive things to real world. You need to sell your product, services. Just all of these ideas should increase quality of people. You need to help as example, for infrastructure owners to work more efficient, etc., including the reduction of CO2 emissions. So it's reality, and any seminar, any training, any course or any event, you must be ready to think more positively, to accept any possibilities, and to absorb ideas. And by the end, if all this happens, you can succeed. If not, you will stay on research highest level, and so on.
So attending trainings to broaden your horizons, trying to develop a product, at least a minimum viable product, networking and collaboration. Those would be the 3 takeaways from your recommendations. Well, those are very great remarks to finish our conversation. Thank you very much again for spending some time with us and sharing your experience. And for more information about the Merlin project, you can visit merlin-ict.eu. So thank you, Robertas, again.
Thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.